So for my psychology project, I'm doing the movie part, and I'm doing The Joker, which is a fictional movie. So it is produced by Todd Phillips, Emma Tillinger, and Bradley Cooper under Warner Bros. Pictures, and it was released in 2019. So it's fairly modern. And the main characters and description of plot. So the main characters consist of Arthur, who is the Joker, the main character of the story. Murray Franklin, which is a comedian he's trying to find acceptance from and trying to find his father through. Penny Fleck, which is his mother. He doesn't have the best relationship with his mother, but he doesn't have the best relationship with anyone. It's just himself. And an unnamed social worker / therapist who, like I said before, he's trying to find acceptance for everyone, but he feels as though she's not really helping him because she's just stating the same information over and over and over again. And Sophie Dunman, who is his neighbor at the apartment, trying to find acceptance from her as well. So he's seeking for acceptance that he longed from his father and attempts to find these values through his portrayal of himself and through the Joker, the clown that he is acting as shown right here. So he's trying to find his dad through his idolized comedian, Murray Franklin, and the person he finds value in, Murray Franklin, does not see him, he doesn't accept him. So, just as the rest of those in his life, he doesn't have anyone, and he's lonely, and he was bullied for most of his life, which affected him emotionally and physically dramatically. And it causes him to commit murder with no remorse, the murder of Murray Franklin. And in search of this acceptance, Arthur's non-existent and broken relationships make up a huge driving force of the motives and in the display of his personality disorders and post-traumatic stress disorder, which will be talked about later on through how it envelopes psychology throughout the movie. So psychological concepts exemplify personality disorder. So throughout the movie, Arthur disassociates himself from reality a lot, which can be a form of psychosis. So he's disassociating himself in awkward situations and social interactions by laughing uncontrollably and in inappropriate circumstances and in awkward circumstances. And it also talks about in the movie, whenever he goes to the mental ward to find his records, it is known that he has narcissistic personality disorder and delusional psychosis. So a part of this narcissistic personality disorder, he has grandiose hallucinations. So whenever I mean by this, he considers himself notable and high, higher than others. So this can be found whenever he is dancing and making hypothetical scenarios of finding acceptance from people and people fantasizing over him, he has a dream for being a comedian, and so he's like, oh my gosh, you're so funny, Arthur, stuff like that. And he never faces remorse, so whenever he murdered Murray Franklin, he never really felt bad for it. And this laughing habit can also be a role of his nervous system. So his nervous system is causing him to laugh uncontrollably as a coping mechanism. And he just has no remorse, normal remorse anyways. And his narcissistic personality disorder can be found whenever he's in the hospital room smoking with his mother hooked to an oxygen tank. And he's just talking about what is going on in his life and with no care for what is going on in his mother's when obviously she's near facing death. So post-traumatic stress disorder can also be found. So post-traumatic stress disorder can be caused by experience in life, traumatic experiences. So Arthur's father's absence and the abuse he faced from his father can cause this development of PTSD, and the abandonment he faced from his mother whenever he was at the mental ward and being beaten by the place, the workers of the place, and his mother not really caring that he was beaten and allowing it. And just as the laughing uncontrollably was a part of the personality disorders. It is also part of post-traumatic stress disorder because in stressful situations, this is how he copes. And also abuse substances and medications. He smokes a lot, and he also takes medications for his personality disorders, but is unsure whether this is a coping mechanism or if but it gets worse whenever he's not on this medication, and this uncontrollable smoking and also drinking can play a huge role in his stress. And also, he's suicidal, depressed, and he desires for acceptance, which is a huge motive in this story. So the need for acceptance can be tied with the fact that he never gained it from his father, and he's trying to find this acceptance in Murray Franklin. So he idolizes Murray and thought he'd find his father through him. And because of this suicide, depression, and desire of acceptance, he shows it through this statement he made to the therapist: "I just hope my death makes more sense than my life." So he doesn't understand life. He has no really meaning behind it, and he's trying to make his death notable, I guess you could say. He also makes impulsive acts. So in the movie, he's on top of the couch dancing and with a gun, and then he shoots the gun through the roof while also making suicidal gestures with a pistol to his head, but not actually shooting it at himself. So his physical appearance can also be tied to the substance abuse, but it doesn't really say. But he's very skinny and bruised with a very observable rib cage where you can really see it. And so I rate this movie a 10 out of 10. I loved it a lot. The actor, Joaquin Phoenix, received an Academy Award for Best Actor at the 2020 Oscars, which is a huge deal if you did not know. It is inevitable to notice the effective use of substances and experience displayed to correlate with his dissociative identity and post-traumatic stress disorder. So I do recommend this story, and it did a great job of showing this psychological concept of his life. Thank you for watching.